Oh, you're filming,
Okay,
are you?
yeah, stop doing your hair, and he'll come back round to me now because this is my blog, not yours.
This is good.
Okay, this is Paul Martin at UK Cameraman on Twitter. Give me a follow if you like. I'm just about to film. We've already done BBC Breakfast News, but what we're going to do now is another hit for the BBC News channel. We are here at the place where they film Wildlife SOS. It's called Wildlife Aid. Their Twitter is...
It's at Wildlife Aid.
At Wildlife Aid. Give them a follow. Very worthwhile a follow. So me, my camera and my live kit with my reporter, we are now going to do a hit for the news channel. Is that correct?
That's correct.
BBC News channel. So have a watch. This is what I do for a living.
Actually, well...
I'll do the first answer. I'll stay on Simon.
Yeah.
I'll pull out for your second question.
Yeah.
I will go in for his second answer.
Yeah.
And as he starts talking, I shall go over your arm again.
Yeah.
But I shall...
As before, that
As
looked really
before.
nice.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah,
No, I'll just do this at the same time.
Okay, shall we go for a take then?
And then the... hang on, let me just have a think. So then the payoff will probably be very similar. Just say, okay, thanks, Simon.
Yep.
That's your cue to put
Come
out.
back to you.
Yeah.
Take one more look.
One
back
more
in
look,
again.
yeah. You know, so,
We're very happy with that.
Okay, what time is that?
8:30. Immediately. In fact, he's not fat enough, and that's why he's here at the Wildlife Aid Foundation.
When you stay fat enough,
Yeah.
I will start coming out.
Can you
and
hear
then
the
can
dogs? Do you want me to
introduce
shut them away? Can you hear them barking? Do you want them shut away or are they alright?
I think. Do you mind shutting
No,
that?
it's
Yeah,
alright,
sorry,
just
I can't. I don't know whether.
Okay,
No, I get so used to
I don't know whether the mic will pick that up or not.
They're being naughty.
So this is another. We were just about to start recording then, but we've had to stop because the dog's barking, and that will come in over the background.
Oh,
So
yeah, fine, thanks.
we're just preparing now for a pre-record, not live this
That's
time.
all right.
We'll be going live in about half an hour. But this is for the BBC News channel, not Breakfast News. So a bit of a difference, but slightly different
Yeah.
way of doing it. But it's essentially the same thing, except one's live and one isn't. Ready to record? Mark is recording.
Okay.
Ready when you are. Okay, so I am on the little fella
Okay.
and ready when you go.
Meet little Harry. Oops, sorry. Let me introduce you to little Harry. Now his problem, unlike the rest of us, isn't that he's going to put on too much weight this Christmas, it's that he's not fat enough. And that means he could have trouble surviving the winter. That's why he's here in the very caring hands of Lucy at the Wildlife Aid Foundation. It's a sanctuary in Leatherhead in Surrey, and with me is Simon Cowell, the man who runs the place. Simon, why is this a problem?
Hedgehogs have two broods every year, and the second brood, which is sort of towards autumn, the youngsters have very little time to find enough food to put on enough weight to hibernate. A hedgehog, when it hibernates, has to be 600 grams, otherwise it'll go into hibernation, but sadly it won't have enough fat, so it won't come out the other side. So these little guys are going to really struggle. I mean, we have up to 200 hedgehogs during the winter, and believe it or not, they will chomp their way through 15,000 cans of dog food until they're released next year. But we have to keep them awake, so they have to be kept at 60 degrees. They have demand feeding day and night if they want it, and obviously they will be with us right the way through and released next spring.
Now, Harry to me looks reasonably okay. Is he, what, half the size, quarter the size he should be by now?
He's 300 grams, actually, this one, so he's actually half the size he's got to be to survive hibernation, which is why we say to people, if they do find a hedgehog anything under that sort of weight, pop him on the garden scales. If they're worried, give a wildlife centre a call, because they need properly to come in and be overwintered so they survive.
And what are the telltale signs that a hedgehog is in trouble? I mean, I've heard that if you see them out during the day, that's a sign there could be problems.
This time of year, they're just desperately trying to find food. They shouldn't be out during the day, but it's not that unusual. But it's just the weight now. So if you get a hedgehog and it looks as if it could sit in your hand, it's probably a bit smaller. A full-size hedgehog would not sit in your hand very comfortably. And they're so endangered. They've got to be Britain's most iconic and uncontroversial British mammal, really. In the 50s, they're about 30 million. Now they reckon there's under 1 million, and they're saying by 2025 there's going to be urban extinction, which is pretty tragic for what is our most iconic creature.
And just briefly, is it safe to feed them if you find one in your garden?
If you have them in your garden, you're lucky enough to have in your garden. Feed them dog food, cat food, and little biscuit thing, you know, the sort of dog biscuits is fine. Never milk and never bread. It's much better to give them nearer to what they get in the wild.
Okay, Simon, thanks very much. And you can find the Wildlife Aid Foundation by searching online. Harry, well, he looks like he's making pretty good progress, but take one closer look at him. There you go. I challenge you to find anything cuter this Christmas.
Cool.
I hope that was about
There we go.
2.5
Yeah.
minutes. It's really difficult when you've not got the... Oh, we've
Yeah,
got the-
obviously I can't count it because I'm not
Yeah.
recording on here, so it's...
Can Mark check? Is he a...
Yeah, Mark,
As long as it's roughly 2.5. They weren't too prescriptive, but...
just a bit over 2.5 minutes I think is fine, but obviously they can cut off the pre-roll and the end roll as well, so...
If they cut off the presenter, that's quite cool.
Thank you, mate. He seems
I
to
left
think
a-
it was just over anyway.
I left
but
a lengthy...
there was
top.
a lengthy start and a lengthy top, so they can cut that down.
Yeah.
Cool.
Back again?
I want to go back to bed now. I'm
Okay. He seems to think that's including...
What
with
was
cuts
the...
off.
we'll just wait and see what the duration was. I mean, as long as we're not sort of pushing to 3 minutes, I think.
No.
My sleeve.
They should be able to cope with an extra 10 seconds.
Mm.
Okay, so that's how it's done. Quite a simple film, really. I mean, there was one presenter, one guest, one small animal, and
One hedgehog wrangler.
one little tiny little hedgehog. That's how I do it. That's pretty much exactly the same that we do for lives, whoever it's for, whether it's for BBC or whether it's for the news channel or anything like that. So. Yep, that's it. That's how it's done.